good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska Academics and Wayno here after the long Labor Day weekend. What's up?
What y'all do for Labor Day weekend?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, when I do nothing, it's a good day.
What you do?
No business transactions.
No transactions.
I didn't do shit either. I went to IKEA.
I was supposed to go to IKEA yesterday.
What would you get at IKEA? I can't imagine you shopping for home goods.
Y'all just sound like
I'm washed.
No, I was supposed to get some.
Not ashamed.
Stuff, you know?
Not
Anytime
ashamed.
you hear the desk and say she going to IKEA, she just bought a new mansion and she just needed a couple things because it's about to be Airbnb. But I see it.
All right, academics. What did you do this weekend? Went to Foot Locker.
He was out in these streets.
Oh yeah, I went to A Boogie's concert. Salute my man Emmy invited me out there.
You went out?
So Frito Fest.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's kind of popping out there, man.
Oh, you know what?
It was good to see. Got a chance to see A Boogie shut down the Barclays. By the way, he previewed his new single. I'm calling it now. That single is fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. I think it's called Mood Swings. It's supposed to drop like soon.
So you went back to the slums of Brooklyn this weekend.
You know what?
You were in my neighborhood. You didn't hit me up?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Do you even still live in Brooklyn?
Yes, academics.
Don't you live like with a rich?
Okay, no.
Well, I went to a Puma event on Friday. I forgot, and I seen YB and Corday. He performed. I met his dad too. His dad looked very young. Like his dad looked like he could be his older brother. Cool dude though.
Why mad
Very
people
cool
sending me pictures saying he dating like some famous tennis players? Is that true?
dude. He is.
Who's the famous tennis?
Osaka.
Serena? Huh?
No.
That's pretty
Osaka.
lit.
Who that?
You don't know about Osaka? She's fire. She's dope.
She good?
Yeah.
She black?
Yes.
And number one in the world?
Black and Japanese, I believe.
Oh shit.
You haven't seen any videos of her? I don't even watch tennis, and okay.
Nah, she's really good.
Hey,
though.
do
Check it
better
out.
than
Yo,
Instagram
he's doing very well for himself. Exactly, he's doing very well for himself.
Shout out to Corday. That's my dog.
Actually, let me not shame the Instagram models. I love y'all.
Let's see, what did we miss over the weekend? So of course you guys know that JayZ's been facing a lot of backlash for his new partnership with the NFL. People felt like they didn't know enough about the social justice aspect of this partnership. So on Friday we got some news. So they announced that Meek, Rhapsody, and Meghan Trainor will be the first Inspire Change advocates for the 2019 NFL season. So one of the things they're going to be doing is performing a free concert at Grant Park in Chicago. That's coming up this week, September 5th. So they're also launching an Inspire Change apparel line and a Songs of the Season campaign. So apparently the apparel will be used to fund Inspire Change efforts across the states, and proceeds from the songs, which will be incorporated into NFL promos, will also go to the program. Now, of course, after this announcement was made about the apparel line and Meghan Trainor, some people were pissed about those two things specifically. What do you guys think? We talked a lot about this. We haven't heard any details. Now the details are finally coming.
What was people pissed about? Exactly.
I wasn't on the internet this weekend.
I ain't gonna lie. I think
I seen something really wild. I did see something wild that Jay said, where he said something about like police officers. Like he grew up in a one parent household, and that makes you kind of aggressive. And then when you come outside and have to deal with police, it kind of leads to like them having some sort of aggression towards you. That was wild.
In a statement?
Yeah, it was something he was talking. He was speaking as something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like. It was old, but it just like popped up.
Oh, they resurfaced some footage.
But it was like this year though. It was like earlier this year, but nobody caught on to it earlier this year.
Man, I think the smoke and mirrors is about to come down with this deal. And for everybody who says, hold up, let's give him a chance, hear him out, we're gonna realize it's a bunch of concerts and a bunch of merch. You know what I mean? That's about it. You got to read between the lines with a lot of these things.
Okay.
Because, you know, like, I look at all this as NFL propaganda. And I still, like, the overall question I still ask, I'm like, Jay's one of the most powerful niggas in the world. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck does Jay need to go link up with these people to do this? Like, I feel like he maybe not on a organized mass scale like this might be at, but feels like he's already doing certain things that what he's partnering with the NFL is already doing. So then I ask, why partner with the NFL if you were opposed to some of their stances before? Like, I'm still at that point of asking that question. So, like he could have gotten, I'm pretty sure he could have gotten many other partners to do the same thing, right? The NFL was looking for someone to really put a Band-Aid over really, I don't call it a cultural issue, but it is kind of a cultural issue because I think, let's just say clear, niggas think the 32 owners are racist, right? And of course, yes, like that does lead to, punishing players for protesting or like standing up for social justice initiatives, but you can't put a Band-Aid over that. Like, they're still gonna own the teams. There's no repercussion for maybe practices that they have, other than settlements, practices that they have that might punish players that try to speak out. So then I look at it, and again, we go back to that press conference.
Well, look at this, right? Like, JayZ is JayZ, but he's not going to stop racism on no level. Like, you know what I mean? If owners are racist, then they're just going to be racist. Like, I'm not.
So why do a deal with them?
So when I looked at the deal, well, of course, like, for what I know of the deal, and it says that what the merchandise sells, they go
So proceeds go towards this, like, inspired change.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's an organization necessarily, but I guess what we still don't know is what are the efforts they're spearheading.
Right.
By the way, I took issue with that too.
Okay.
Why?
Listen.
The merch or the organization?
No, because I know how motherfuckers use semantics and play with linguistics to not really be 100% transparent. It don't say all the proceeds go towards that shit. It just says something. It could be 5%. It could be 20%. It could be 30%. Who knows? Again, the wording is a Band-Aid. The proceeds are gonna go towards blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's only 30% of proceeds. The rest of it is funding some other NFL bullshit, or it's getting broken down amongst whatever partners involved. So, like, I think that would have made, like, I would have felt a little bit, and maybe, again, this is just maybe me personally. I'd have felt a little bit more comfortable and said, yo, all the proceeds are going towards these initiatives, not proceeds. Because I've seen it in most other cases. I can't remember, there was some cause, and I don't want to name the wrong causes, but everyone was like, yo, this is for doing something good. Come to find out, it was only 20%.
All right, but even if it's 20%, right? Like, I think that what people got to stop doing is thinking that everything that's made because JayZ's name is on it and he's a businessman, that he's writing down every single thing that's going to be done how he wants to do it. It can't work like that, right? So if it's 20% of proceeds going towards anything,
education, economic empowerment, police and community relations, and criminal justice reform,
I don't understand how anybody could be mad at that. Right? Like, I don't understand how anybody could be mad at that, because, of course, even though that it's a manufacturing cost, nobody's making all this shit for free, right? So it has to be split certain ways. I'm just saying, like, people got to stop thinking that whatever JayZ is going to do or was going to do is going to stop NFL owners from being racist, that he can stop racism. And I just think, like, a lot of people are belittling all the work he has done prior to this. Now, while he did say that one thing that I think is fucking wild, I'm not mad at him doing this. Even with the Meghan Trainor shit, I think, like, okay, if you're gonna get Rhapsody and you're gonna get Meek, that's the NFL pick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it says NFL and Rock Nation. It's not all JayZ picking every single musical act. So I'm pretty sure they have some influence on who they want to pick. The shit is not gonna turn into a whole hip hop show. Right. It's not gonna be Summer Jam.
And well, then it brings me to my next point.
What?
We're gonna keep the same energy.
What?
Because when Trump comes with some shit that says, hey, this is gonna benefit inner city communities, is
You
gonna...
can't compare Trump and JayZ. You can't compare Trump and JayZ.
I'm not comparing Trump and JayZ.
Okay.
That's not jumping out the window. Let me explain.
And Kanye gives
Trump
all right.
and the NFL.
Okay.
Like, you can't look at the NFL, and I'm telling you, and y'all are basically you're not denying it, y'all not putting up any type of, like, retort. Them owners, that's the whole thing. That's why people look at the NFL really.
Do you not watch football anymore?
Huh?
Did you ever watch football?
I do.
Okay, so I mean, I don't.
No, wait.
Okay.
Wait. People are saying the owners, there's a culture of racism among the owners because they're instructing their GMs.
That's in America, though. Like, that's not.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm comparing that institution to the institution of the U.S. government, which is ran by Trump. We're basically saying, oh, it's cool that Jay is doing that because we're getting some good out of it.
Well,
however, we killed Ye. And to keep it real, we probably got more practical good out of what Ye did.
Just to keep it all the way a buck, bro, like, I mean, the United States government was built on the back of everybody that was not, like, white people run America. This is not no secret. They run every large major corporation, right? So even the NBA, when Donald Sterling got caught saying some racist shit, right? You think that it's not all the other owners don't have that same sentiment or something like that? That not gonna stop people who have big cultural influences in hip hop or in their community from working with these companies.
No, I agree. Like, I'm with you on that. I'm just calling everybody to the table. Are we gonna keep the same energy? I compared two institutions that, whether it's now or is just embedded in our history, we have associated racism or racist roots with both of them. NFL, U.S. government, or NFL, just say Trump racist, because I know niggas want to think that. All right, or say that. Cool. So both of them. We're okaying for someone, Jay, to work with the NFL in light of possibly some good things to come out of it, right? When the next time we get one of our black entertainers, whether it's Kanye or not, right, that links up with Trump for some shit, are we gonna be like, stone him? Or are we gonna keep the same energy and say, yo, let's give him an opportunity, or look at what's being, we might not fuck with him.
Well, I think, but also you gotta rap, if you're gonna say Kanye, you gotta wrap around the shit that he was saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like people just trust JayZ more than they trust Kanye. And then the shit that Kanye was saying, being next to Trump, like, yo, he's the dad I never had. You know what I mean?
He was putting kids in cages at the border.
Yeah,
I understand your point, though, but
I get your point as well.
But remove Ye. Like, Ye's problematic.
But that was what you was using as the gauge for.
There's other people that have.
I don't think there's gonna be anybody else like that. Any other entertainer that we loved at one point in time, black entertainer that we loved at one point.
What was the chick that was supposed to perform or did
Chrisette Michele?
Chrisette Michele.
Yeah. I mean, nobody, and no disrespect to her, but nobody really gave a fuck about Chrisette Michele.
They killed her for that, though.
Nah, her career is like dead.
It is. I'm just saying that. It's not like it was booming before that. Like,
okay.
But she probably needed that brand too. Like,
even like there's no entertainers that's gonna be performing at no black entertainers that's gonna be performing at no or really being involved in Correspondents dinner.
Okay, so are you gonna also kill the artists who are gonna be involved in this? Obviously, people were pissed about Meghan Trainor because she's white, whatever. But Meek and Rhapsody are two people that we respect. Obviously, Meek's been through it when we're talking about criminal justice and et cetera. So, are we gonna kill every artist who's involved moving forward as well?
Well, I don't look at Meek and I don't look at Rhapsody. They're Rock Nation artists, my nigga. It's like there's nobody on Rock Nation, even if they think otherwise, will speak out against this. And if your boss, JayZ, picks you to say, yo, Meek, you one of our leading stars, also you're ahead of a social justice movement in terms of just prison reform, come over here and do this performance, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be opposed to it.
But listen, Meek had Meek been running around with Robert Kraft, bro. Like, are we serious? Like, he was running around with he gave Robert Kraft a championships chain. Like, are we now putting light on it only because of JayZ? He been hanging with him. He been hanging with Michael Rubin, all these different people.
I agree.
It's like,
I agree. I think that, because folks, what I'm saying is that the two niggas who were in there, they're signed to Rock Nation. Let's not act like.
I mean, yeah, of course, like that's the name. But that's not only. Those are not only names that we're gonna see. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be other people that aren't Rock Nation artists.
I guarantee for the first 2-3 concerts, straight Rock Nation artists.
Okay, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying it's NFL and Rock Nation.
No, but you know why?
Like, you're not gonna go get bad boy artists or fucking Interscope artists to go be on the bill, right?
No. Well, I think it's more than just it's Rock Nation, so let's give the opportunity to Rock Nation artists. I don't think artists are running towards this because Jay's in. Everybody's critical of this shit. I think the only people right now
that would do it, that would get into
are Rock Nation artists.
I don't believe that. Yo. I mean, those are the first two names we've seen. We haven't even seen.
Who the fuck would actually take that?
You said nobody. So
we might find out in 2 weeks. This is coming up like right now.
Meghan Trainor's not a Rock Nation artist.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You admitted off top.
Yeah, that's probably the NFL pick. Yeah, it's an NFL pick.
I don't even know what Meghan Trainor. I
don't even know
when
who she is.
When I saw Meghan Trainor, I was like, is this Meg the waist trainer? Like, is it Meg the style? Like, what the fuck is this? Who is this person?
Yes,
bro, I don't know who this is. I've never heard that.
No, but I'm saying, like, I think that there's definitely going to be other artists that do some of those initiatives because when you rap, and I don't know what the fuck this is. It's even with everything that we're saying, I still don't know what it is. I'm just saying it's like with everything that the Deska mentioned about all the things that the proceeds go towards and all of that, like, regardless of what's going on, who wouldn't want to be a part of that, bro? I mean, like, when you look at, I'm talking about, it's gonna benefit what those concerts that they're doing, right, are gonna benefit proceeds or whatever the case may be, free concerts, etc., for people who are on the ground, right? Now, I think that from a story, from a narrative perspective, that's the only thing that has to change. Because, like, if this was done any way else or with any other company, in light of everything that Jay's trying to do, we wouldn't have so many issues.
I feel most art, and that's what I'm saying, only Rock Nation artists will do right now. I feel most artists, they're not tone deaf, and they understand the cultural issues and also the cultural conversation happening behind this.
Like, well, it depends on who the artist is.
No, like, I don't think it'll be a PR nightmare for anyone to do this. As I said, except Rock Nation artists. And also, like, first of all, Meek has built up a lot of good, like, cultural capital in the last couple of years. Like, you can't really get mad at him. He's like the person who's the victim of the system. You can't get mad at him when he doesn't move like this. But I look at other artists, and you're saying doing initiatives that help give back. Shit, I think it's not a surprise you see certain people kind of join their lines. Maybe not very overt, but like I see Corday is pictured at the tennis little thingy, whatever they do. With Kaepernick, I don't watch tennis like that, man. Come on, bro. Like
when he was there to see his girlfriend that you don't know about.
No, you're right. You're right. But trust me, I've seen all the little press joints, the little junkets, like they send out them pictures, let people know. It's very subtle, bro. It's very subtle. Corday's not doing that shit with Jay.
Okay.
That's facts. Now, is he going to be disrespectful? Of course not.
Right.
But of course, I think he's letting people know where his allegiance lie. By the way, the same things that you're saying, giving back, man. Giving back didn't start when the NFL got involved. No. Cap has initiatives where his campaign movement has stuff where they're giving back to.
Okay, let's
we gonna see.
Let's wait. The concert is this week. I feel like there's going to be more coming soon.
NFL
season is starting. Wayno's actually the opening act at Grant Park in Chicago this week.
And that'd be the first time I really make Axe Page. This nigga Wayno, the joint force.
Oh, man. All right, a little bit of a left turn this week. I was just asking Wayno, is Power on? Was Power just on, or does it not air on a holiday weekend? Are you watching?
I haven't watched Power since I've watched 3 episodes ever.
Okay.
I watched the first episode of this season, and the first 15 minutes was so outlandish.
I love your summation. Wayno said he's on the edge of his seat the whole time. It's too much stress.
It's like this nigga goes in the fridge, and like you expect for him to, when he closed the fridge, somebody to be standing there like Tupac and Juice. You know what I mean? Like, it's every fucking moment is like, what's about to happen? I can't watch it. It gives me anxiety.
It's suspenseful. I like it.
Suspenseful.
I asked because I just want to figure out why 50 posted this weekend. If it was like, you know, he's like the king of promo. So on Saturday, I think he got on Instagram and decided to highlight Chris Brown's like amazing sales record. And in his caption, he basically says, Chris Brown is better than MJ to me right now. I'm not going to read the rest of his comment, but you guys can see it here on the screen. People went crazy. Well, actually, mixed reactions. Some people supported this. Some people were really pissed and outraged. Eventually, he did delete the post. People like Waka Flocka definitely disagree. He told them his comments were not funny. Chris Brown later got on Instagram to say that he believes MJ is still the greatest ever.
Yeah, I think like 50, you know 50 judges everything on sales. Like the whole sales argument, nobody was thinking about sales.
He was just looking at his sales for the current project and decided to just jump out the, okay.
Absolutely. I think that's what it is. I mean, when 50 was saying that he was the king of New York, he wasn't saying it just based on music. He was saying it because he sells the most, he got the biggest influence and shit like that. But yeah, I didn't agree with this at all. Like, I don't think that, I hate these lists and all these different things because all it does is divide instead of people having appreciation, right? Like, it's like Michael Jackson, Chris Brown. Without Michael Jackson, there'd be no Chris Brown. Why does it have to be he's directly compared to him? Like, he's gone. Right. I just think that Chris Brown is a generational talent. That nigga does not fall off trees. There's not going to be another Chris Brown for maybe another 20 years. Mm-hmm. So, like, just appreciate them both.
I don't think 50 was going off numbers because in every statistical category, actually, even and up to streaming, Michael Jackson crushes Chris Brown, even post-death. So it's like what are we really talking about? We're talking about someone who, like, in terms of records sold, you can never compare Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. So I don't think that's where he saw, like, because Chris Brown's streaming pretty good now. Mm-hmm. I don't think he saw, like, oh, shit, Chris streams 50 million, he better than Mike. Nah. I think, he's very close to Chris Brown. Shows him a lot of love. Mm-hmm. Also, I think really just raw talent. That's one of the things. That's why I've always said, Chris Brown has, from the get-go, people have seen potential because he's raw talent. Mm. And I think a lot of us could admit that if not for certain instances or incidents, right, or mistakes, and also him not getting his own way, perhaps he would live up to that hype to even surpass him in maybe every way possible. It's kind of like when LeBron just first came in the league, you don't know who he's going to be, but you see the potential that it could possibly go past Michael Jordan. I think he really just wanted to get a joke off, man. And I think he looks at how people view Chris Brown versus how people view Michael Jackson. I know we didn't read the other part of it, but he was basically saying like, yo, the way how Michael Jackson's kind of revered, like, to be honest, Chris Brown's an afterthought in mainstream media these days. Afterthought. His fans still love him. He still does well, but he's not really celebrated like he's
he's not.
cultural and musical icon.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson still is. And I think...
So he's saying MJ did just as bad or worse, but he doesn't get the...
And I think he's close to Chris Brown. He's like, yo, why do they demonize you so much when a guy who you're comparable to did possibly even worse things? And he's so, like, he's brought up to this GOAT status.
They've tried though, right? They've made the documentaries and everything. It's not like people are ignoring it.
Well, Chris Brown, I think that people still holding him to 2009. You know what I mean? Or 2008, whenever that incident happened with him and Rihanna. Like, they still, like... And then when Chris Brown has, like, done press, whenever people try to address it, that's when it blows up. So then he just stopped doing press. So once he stops doing press, then media is not embracing him the way they once did. You know what I mean? Because I think that people always wanted him to just, like, fucking cry on camera and boo-hoo and just say that he was sorry. I think that's what they really want to get, or really just confront him about this shit and try to get a rise out of him. Through that, no more media. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. Because if he doesn't have that situation, I definitely think, you know, it's a larger conversation that he's closer to MJ through that than with the way 50 did it. But like you said, 50 tried to get the joke off.
Trying to get the joke. That's why I think you seen Waka Flock in the comments. He chimed in. It was like, yo, it's kind of funny because, you know, like, I do think one of the reasons why, especially with like Michael Jackson, you know, we've seen what happened with R. Kelly. R. Kelly's currently locked up facing multiple charges on a federal and state level. But, and largely in part, it was because of that documentary. Same kind of documentary came out about Michael Jackson, but he's passed away. He's dead. He's been dead for like 10 plus years. And because of that, those memories, you're not going to ruin the memory of someone's favorite entertainer what somebody grew up on. So I think that's one of the reasons why his legacy won't change despite what you now are trying to say, even if it's a joke. It won't change as opposed to someone who's actually living. Because again, every time Chris Brown has an incident, and it doesn't have to be particularly domestic violence, it could be violent or it could be involving fight. You automatically think about that. And he's still writing his legacy at this point. So hopefully it could change at this point. But
is Chris Brown 30 yet?
Actually, no.
Chris Brown just turned 30.
He just turned 30, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's born in May 5th.
See? I knew he was.
All the goats are born in May. Man.
Do you celebrate his birthday?
Does he celebrate mine?
Definitely sings Chris Brown in the shower on his birthday.
Right.
Nah, I do sing some breezy in the shower now. If y'all don't sing
Stop
Chris
talking
Brown,
about yourself in the shower.
if y'all don't sing Chris Brown, Wayne act like he don't take showers. Wayne the type of
Watch
nigga
your mouth
that
now.
like he don't take showers, definitely not baths. I don't know what this nigga does.
I have a jacuzzi tub. I can take back. I take that.
This fucking guy. Okay. It's one of my biggest dreams to have an actual bathtub. All right, this story is kind of random, but we have a fan question that sort of ties into this coming up. So over the weekend, Shai Glazy was dealing with some backlash after this video popped up of him basically just sort of ignoring his fans. Take a look.
Please. Damn.
Outfit though.
Right.
So he got on IG story later and responded by saying that he was just being quote precautious and that everybody asked for a picture isn't a fan, which we did learn when Ugly God was up here, which is interesting. He said all artists aren't the same. Some of us actually live the life that we rap about. Therefore, the precautions we take aren't to offend anybody. It's to protect ourselves. And also everybody that asked for a picture isn't a fan. Hopefully that doesn't go over y'all heads. What do you think? Handled well here?
Yeah, I mean, people, I mean, this is the thing, man. Like, it's late night. It looks like it's probably late night. Don't know what he coming. He might just not felt like taking a picture. I'm not going to knock somebody for not wanting to take a picture. You know what I mean? Late night or whatever, just trying to get to wherever they're going to. But he is right in a certain sense. And like you said, what Ugly God and Act was saying, fans, quote unquote, today want to get close to you so they can knock you out. I mean, it looked like women, you know what I mean? But like fans, want to get close to you so that they could grab your chain to go viral or some shit like that. So I get with him taking a precaution like that. I'm not knocking him for that.
I didn't hear what he said, if he said anything, but is there a way you're supposed to handle this politely, or do you?
Number one, based on the drip, he's top 5. Shai Glazy, he's top 5 on the drip. That's facts.
Yeah, that's
that is definitely facts.
It's gliding.
No, number 2, Shai's right. The fuck? Like, first of all, if you know anything about Shai Glazy and how he moves and the music he makes, you would know that he's probably a guy who walks around with him and his team and they're playing defense. There was another incident recently where he went back to his hometown and somebody tried to make an incident off of it, which he didn't really know the dude at the time, but the dude was talking about he was banned. He wasn't really in tune with what was going on, but of course he had to make a stand because now the dude was trying to punk him. Again, you'd have been completely blindsided had you thought it was just a regular fan, blah, 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 right? Looks like he's trying to get out of wherever, I don't know where he's coming from, but he's going to his vehicle. Again, it's a time and a place for everything, and while he possibly could have, if an artist then explains to me, given the times that we're living in, that, yo, who knows what's up, like, I'm just being precautious, you can't get mad at him.
Right.
Again, it's a good thing he addressed it,
Yeah.
you know? And what he said, not all fans are fans. You're right. I agree. So, can't be mad.
I'm still like stunned that Ugly God doesn't agree, that he still counts everyone as a fan, even if they're trying to do some wild shit.
Right.
Nah, that happens though.
Not a fan.
I disagree. It's not a fan.
It's not a fan.
We
Not a
just
fan
define the
academics.
term fan way too loosely.
A person that would harm you is not a fan of you, yo.
But here's the thing. There's people who think, like, it's weird how fans go about trying to get attention or recognition. And I'm telling you, they'll go as far as that point, or sometimes they get offended because they're not getting whatever they want. They go to that point.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the Barclays. I seen these group of chicks. They shout out some wild shit to me, like mad disrespectful. Seriously.
And then when you turned around, they like,
No. So I looked at them and I'm like, I just kind of ignored them, because you know you got to get used to, like, people, either you're in public, that's what it is. By the time I get home, so I'm like looking through my Instagram, bro, they were like, yo, really, like, we fuck with you, like, we're trying to just really get a picture, but you just kind of like, you know, we ain't mean to offend you, like.
What'd they say to you?
Huh?
What'd they say
We
to
ain't
you?
gonna say
You
nothing
have no
to her.
shame. Why wouldn't you say
We
it?
ain't talking.
Okay.
We ain't talking.
I can just imagine.
All right. You guys want to do something?
Well, hold on, are those fans?
You didn't say what they said to you though.
Nah.
It was mad, like.
I don't look at them as fans. Like, just.
All right, hold on. Wayne,
Yeah.
you walking in the mall, say you with your kids, and somebody just shout out, Wayne, are you a bitch?
Oh, it's gonna be a problem.
Nah.
It's gonna be a problem.
No.
You get home, you
gonna
with
be
your
a
kids, and you
problem.
be like, yo, go ahead.
I'm not. It's gonna be a problem.
You see it later and be like, yo, Wayne, I follow everything you do. I love you on every day.
No.
That's not a
Fuck
fan,
outta
bro.
here.
That's not a fan.
Nope.
Like
Not a fan?
I've had niggas write crazy shit in my comments and then DM me like, yo, I'm a big fan of the show. I just said that to fuck with
Yeah,
you. That's not
block
how
them.
you.
Yeah, no.
That's
I
not
don't-
cool.
We don't
a
play
new
those
age
games.
fan.
No, that ain't no new age.
Sorry.
That's a new age fuck nigga. And if you see me while I'm with my children and you disrespect me, it's gonna be a problem. My kid's big enough so that they could sit down. We gonna have whatever we gonna have. I'm not gonna play like that.
That's how some of these fans are coming.
Nah, that's not cool. That's
a
not cool.
fan. Sorry.
Nah.
I ain't playing none of that shit.
No.
Yo, I'm telling you, the person message, like, I understand, yo. The ugly
So
guy
then you
with
were cool with those girls after?
because I understand it. Like actually, I laughed it off.
Something wrong with you.
Because you would
Something
do
wrong
the-
with
would
you.
you-
I laughed it off. Number one, it's women, right? So it wasn't like on some threatening shit, like, yo, nigga, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I mean? Like,
Wrong, they catch you in the wrong place. Listen, chicks giving it up out here, nigga. They catch you in the wrong place. It might be lit.
but honestly, the fact that I saw it, and they're like, kind of, they say, yo, I ain't gonna lie, they was tipsy, and they were like, yo, to be honest, we didn't think any other way you would actually look at us. And I was like, because we were being like escorted around, and I'm like, no.
It's not.
I just laughed it off, bro. I just laughed it off.
Yeah, it's not, no.
Bro, I see and deal with trolls all the time.
Yeah, that shit ain't. This troll shit is. That shit's not cool, bro. Like,
And I'm telling you, you gotta brace yourself, yo.
Hey,
You gotta brace yourself.
don't play with me like that. That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's run through a couple songs, then we'll let Akka do some numbers. Let's see, what do we have? The first one is Ride That, Juvenile, Birdman, and Wayne. This one dropped last week. First time we've heard them all together in 3 years. Break, hit, or wait on it?
I say hit. What I really like about it is like It sounds like it's New Orleans bounce. Like, it's New Orleans bounce music. I mean, it's just good to hear Wayne and Juvenile and Birdman on a fucking track. Like, I can't lie. Like, the nostalgia sets in when you see those three names. So I really like the song.
Okay.
I say hit.
I think it depends on what you call a hit. I think this is a hit for that demographic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you fuck with all three of them, you fuck with the Hot Boys, you fuck with just Cash Money movement, period. Like, I think not only is this a feel-good moment, it's a cool record. Right. Now, is it like mainstream?
Yeah,
Nah, but like, I think it's a hit within that because it kind of shows you, hopefully this means, and we've seen Birdman and Wayne being pictured together like last week, so hopefully it means all is well and hopefully all stays well. So I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about, we got more Sean. This one is featuring Ferg, Berserk, produced by Hit Boy, and they performed this one at the VMAs last week.
I say wait on it. Like, it was cool, but I don't know if it's gonna be like. It just sounds like a warm up joint. It sounds like a warm up joint for Sean to kind of get his face back out there, get a little bit hot. But I say wait on it.
Okay.
Brick. Hey, listen, man. I'm such a big Sean fan. But ever since he came back out of his depression and started dropping music, I ain't feeling none of these shits. Like, they're okay. And, the first joint kind of gave me, like, No More Interview vibes, and it's kind of cool, but, like, it was just lukewarm to me. And this is not the cylinder I would think Big Sean should be firing on right now. I know you say warm up, but I think he's in the game. Like, you should have been warming up already. You get me? The first joint should have been a warm up. I was expecting it with this. You get me? Especially you're performing the VMAs, I was expecting it. It's decent. I don't see performing. I'm going to call it Brick.
Wow. Okay, we got a couple more. Babushka Boy. This one is from Rocky. This is the first release since he came home from Sweden. So we got the song and a video for this. Wayno?
I'm gonna go back to what Ak was saying about like with like the Juvenile song, whatever. It depends on what you want out of a hit, but I think it's dope. I think it's very dope. I like the whole thing of him running with the whole theme of how did he get that scar on his face. He went through some street shit or whatever. So I think like it's dope. Seeing Schoolboy Q dressed up, you see he had like the alien head and all that crazy shit. Every time Rocky, with his more recently, his visuals have been really, really dope. So, you know what? I say hit.
Okay.
I'll say hit.
I think it's the first time we've been on opposite sides, at least on this particular segment. I'm going Brick. I don't like it.
Really?
I just don't like it. Like, I feel like, he has some bars in there, but like I don't feel like it's catchy. I just don't get the whole premise of it. Like, and I can't. I was thinking, I'm like, this gonna grow on me. A lot of Rocky music grows on me, to be honest. This I don't feel it, and even though I'm really glad and ecstatic that he got it released from Sweden's like hellhole, but I don't think this is it, Chief.
All right, maybe this one is for you, Herbo. G Herbo, Summer is Canceled, Harry Fraud production.
This is it. This one's it, though. This one's it. And not only do I think this is a hit for his demographic, absolutely, I think this might bubble. Yo, I don't know if it's maybe Harry Fraud's like style production. Like, a lot of his songs I really like. Like he does a lot of stuff in French. The Mac and Cheese series. Like there's classic songs in there. They don't really bubble up all the way to radio. So like when I'm thinking about just in a general sense of is this a hit, I think it could be, but I know for his demographic this is definitely a hit.
Okay.
But in terms of mainstream hit, depends on if niggas could digest this type of shit. But I love it. It's still Chicago, G Herbo, as classic. If you like Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, which is a couple projects back, you will like the song.
Okay.
I go Ak. I say hit. I really like this by Herbo. His time, he's been spending a lot of time in Chicago, and it's been giving him a lot of reflection. I seen when he first posted Summer is Canceled, like the artwork is from a young lady that passed away from a shooting, like a random shooting or whatever. So I like the fact that he's taking some time to reflect on home and like shining the mirror on himself, you know what I mean, when it comes to Chicago and telling people to end the bullshit. So hit.
All right, Ak, want to take us through some numbers?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, we only had like one pretty much big debut, I guess, last week or Friday at least. Lil Tecca, We Love You Tecca, which is his first studio. I feel like this is rushed. Like Ransom just popped off and he already got an album out. But still, got to capitalize off the streaming numbers. This song is making almost twice the amount that any other song on the chart is making, and it's at #1 in terms of streams and sales. So Lil Tecca's We Love You Tecca project is going to debut between 41 to 46,000 in the first week. And to be honest, who the fuck is Brockhampton? I don't know who them niggas are.
You still don't know who Brockhampton
okay.
is?
Oh, nigga, who them
This
niggas?
nigga, bro.
I thought we had this conversation.
We did, we had this
Oh, them niggas?
A couple
Yes.
songs.
Oh, hell nah.
But it's a lot of, they they're a collective.
Look like the cats in living color.
You stupid, yo.
All right.
You stupid.
Name 3 members.
I can't. Kevin Abstract.
But yeah, well, anyway, salute to them, regardless if I know them or not. They did debut on the top 200 album chart at number 2 with their new project, Ginger, selling 77,000. And Young Thug, which I think is very highly, appreciated album, So Much Fun, it's at number 3 in the second week, doing 75K, which if you think about it, the drop off from the first week to the second week isn't that much, which usually means people are still enjoying it.
Album is fire, one of the best this year.
Oh, and JayZ. We didn't really get to, we touched on JayZ's album a little bit, but it's selling almost 50,000 and it debuted number 4 on the charts. Which I think JayZ in his, was it 10, 15 at this point?
Yeah.
This is what you would expect. Solid fan base, doesn't need a hit. Comes out, does his regular numbers, goes on tour. You know the thing, right?
Absolutely.
You know the thing. All right, so one fan question before we go. My question is for academics and Wayno, of course, because I'm not answering the questions. What's the biggest and most common mistake y'all see an up-and-coming rapper commit, and what's the best way to avoid that mistake?
I'll go first. I think that the biggest mistake up-and-coming rappers commit is no humility. I think that because numbers are such a big thing, like if a kid sees that they have a little bit of numbers, that they start feeling themselves, and they don't have a lot of humility, and they feel entitlement. And I think that's a big mistake that holds up-and-coming artists back, because a kid will say, oh, I got 1 million streams, and I should have this and that, and 1 million streams is not a lot. But that number, 1 million that we're taught from the time we're born is a lot, is really not that much when it comes to music. So I would say that's the biggest mistake they commit.
Okay.
2 immediately come to mind. The first one is, well, I'm gonna put my second first, which is not knowing the business. And really not knowing the business of when you do blow up, what is expected and how long the ride you're on is gonna last before you either need to buy a new ticket and renew it, or you need to figure some shit out. I see so many rappers and I could predict them right this moment. Even from a nigga could be hot as fish grease. I could tell you're riding the wave of a hot single or whatever, and it's cool. You're gonna get a project out, you're gonna tour for a couple of months, and then you're gonna come back next year. Maybe because you're getting so much money, you're spending it and you're having such a great time, and you then start doing some other things. You take another 6 months off, and then when you're trying to come back with your second project, shit don't look the same. Now you're complaining about your label. Your label's haters. They're bitches. You want out your deal. Now you're getting jerked in your situation. And a lot of times is you not understanding the business and realizing that, yeah, you were good for here, but you're not good for there. And also, again, if you had that mentality beforehand, you would know what's expected, but maybe you would also understand what your deal entails a little bit more. The second thing is, which really was gonna be my first, is knowing when to put out music and when to ride the wave. I feel like a lot of artists because of, when artists start going on tour and working a record, they never know really what's the current pulse of how people view their career. You could have a hit record and tour it for 8 months and not realize that, yo, Blueface, Tatiana old right now, but you performing every night and you getting crazy reactions. You don't give 2 fucks. So you don't really think about when you need another one until sometimes it's too late. So you're thinking you're good because you're seeing these sold out crowds and like, oh shit.
Not making that
makes sense,
transition.
though.
Exactly.
But then should it be on your team, someone who's actually back home to figure that out? Because to your point, if you're on the road and you're feeling all that love every night.
Goes both ways though. Sometimes artists wait too long to put out the next record. You get me? We have multiple examples. I think that's one of the critiques that we have of, say, Young M.A.
Right. And that's coming soon, by the way, finally.
Oh yeah, she has a project coming soon. But I think a big critique of hers was that when she dropped that record, the follow-up took too long.
Or the project took
too long. And honestly, it's trying to find that sweet spot where you're serving content, but you're not saturating the market.
Right.
So if you don't understand that fine balance, you either realize that you're an afterthought, I thought in Ugly God's case, you took 2 years off. You can't do that. Not saying you should drop repetitively. I think one of the people who did it well, and even then I remember having a personal conversation with him to say, hey, are you sure that you feel comfortable with not putting out a little bit more?
Yeah.
Was 21 Savage, and he's like, nah, I want my album to sit. I'm trying to shape my career to be an album artist.
But he gave us, and he had gave us so much. Like 20 had gave us so much. Even
and he was on a few features that,
right.
you know?
Like, I mean, you gotta, and you're right. Like, I think, like an artist like a Kendrick or a Drake or a Cole could take that time. But it was a time where they was dropping nonstop. Like, you have to work your way into that. You can't, like, have one good year and be like, you know what, I'ma just chill. You can't, like, you can't do that shit and expect the same exact results when you come back and you only a year in, because by the time you come back, there's 100 other people with your sounds that evolve, sounds that change, and then like you said, you out the loop, so.
And that's why I look at two examples that mirror my 2 points. Lil Nas X, and I'm gonna look at YB in the mirror. Lil Nas X, right now, you had Old Town Road. How does the label treat you dropping other music, knowing that record still goes and you can still sell out probably 10,000 people just performing that record? How do they treat you putting out other music and not just making you pigeonhole into being a one-hit wonder?
Yeah. So
how do you get that one single turned into a whole career? Then they look at YB in the Mirror, who I think, you know, when he first came out, like, people were really interested. Like, of course, he brought his whole conglomerate on. Corday's doing his thing. But now it's getting to around the second album, right? Or, well, I guess it would really be his first, but even though you almost think it's like a second.
Yeah.
But it would be around the sophomore phase. And now you're looking at it like things may feel a little different because you don't have a rubbing off the paint.
Yeah.
Things, and then we're seeing, you know, he's seem a little upset at the label, this and third, they won't let me drop, they won't this. I'm watching how that situation is. So I think those are two opposite sides of the coin.
Okay, so know the business, be smart with time when it comes to drop music, and be humble.
Be humble.
Sounds like pretty good advice. Thank you for the question. That was
They'll
a
never
really good
follow
question.
Of course not.
The first million in the bank account. So,
Fuck these niggas.
So before we go, I think last week we were talking about all the Yandhi leaks, and we never really got an official release date for that Kanye project, but now it seems like it's happening. So Kim Kardashian posted like a screenshot on Twitter, and it seems like the project is called Jesus is King, and it's coming September 27th, 12 songs, all like religious leaning titles. You guys know? Okay.
I think that shit is gonna be like a gospel live album. Like I think it's just gonna be like the Sunday service but live. Like it's gonna have merch that goes with it. A pair of Yeezys gonna
Sundays.
drop right after.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I think that's what it's gonna be.
I really don't. Well, I don't think no one other than maybe Pusha T, maybe Wayno knows what it's something.
Why would I know?
But like, I honestly just think if it's called Jesus is King and it's changing from Yandhi, coming from a nigga who made something called Yeezus and songs like I Am a God, right? Perhaps he's showing some humility on it. I don't think it's going to be completely. I do feel like there's going to be some Sunday service elements. He probably put them on some extended versions where you could get some live instrumentations, just like how Just Blaze used to bring some like
the choirs
and orchestras to like fill out songs. But I do believe some of the music that he had for Yandhi, I feel like it's going to be a lot of, I don't want to say self-reflection, but maybe a path of him finding some spirituality. I don't know if he's super religious, but I feel, I don't know how you could do that Sunday service thing and with how I've seen it go without you finding or at least be somewhat spiritually in tune. So I'm hoping to see that on this project.
All right, September 7th, 27th.
I was saying let Kanye do his church. You was saying no, fuck that. Don't let him do the church.
Yo,
I said it's
Don't
making him
let
happy.
him do the church.
If I cut this album on and I hear this nigga just bragging about his pool and shit, oh man, we've lost him. We've lost him.
You stupid.
We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.